Ah yes, hello! It's Lorelia back here with yet another Outriders video. And this time we have a Technomancer build, but not just any boring bullet build, blight and rounds Technomancer build. No. This is an anomaly build. And one that I'm pretty sure you haven't seen around often. It's not one of those shrapnel, it's not one of those turret builds. No. This is a minigun anomaly power build using the best looking gear in this for the Technomancers, the Grim Inventor. This shit looks so good. I mean, come on, look at this. Look at this. Look at the legs. Look at so pretty. So nice. But yeah, let's get right into it. Let's get into the build. To the build. Let's. Oh my god, just look how pretty this thing is. Oh, so hot. Let's see skills first. We're using Pain Launcher, Blighted Turrets, and Tool of Destruction. Pain Launcher, you already know. It's one of the first abilities you unlock. It's a missile silo launcher thingamabob. It's Blighted Turrets. You just throw a grenade-like thing. It transforms into a turret. Releases some toxic goo on your enemies. It's nasty. And then you have the rocket launcher and the minigun. You'd think that the rocket launcher would be quite efficient, given the fact that it's a goddamn rocket launcher, but it's underwhelmingly garbage. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So, minigun it is. Let's take a look at the skill tree. We're using mostly bottom tree as it is a custom for anomaly power builds, but we're using a little bit of the middle tree as well, that specifically being exposing toxin and marked for execution. Exposing toxin is going to make it so when you inflict toxic on an enemy, it will be also inflicted vulnerable and it's gonna make them take more damage. And marked for execution makes it so vulnerable is 40% more effective, so even better. Now on bottom tree, the nodes of note would be disturbance coating. I know we have cooldown reduction right here for ordnance, but missile launcher, pain launcher, cooldown really doesn't really matter much, and neither does Tools of Destruction because you're just gonna have your minigun up at all times and you're only gonna put it down if you fuck up and have to reload, which you shouldn't if you're playing it correctly, or during cutscenes and interactables where it automatically resets it for you, including your cooldown, so it doesn't really matter. We use Disturbance Coating instead that reduces enemies, increases our resistance piercing by 15%. Then we're also using Brain Freeze. Now here, this is optional. This one is optional. Brain Freeze is gonna make it so your class melee inflicts toxic as well, not just freeze. It's gonna freeze your enemies and make them toxic. It's pretty cool, pretty good if you need to apply toxic to a boss or something. Your blighted turrets isn't doing it because it's focusing on something else. You just melee and boom, they're vulnerable. Now here's the optional part. You can use either Brain Freeze or Wipeout. Wipeout's gonna make it so enemies below 30% the health threshold take 20% more damage. It's gonna be very useful for just terminating and executing those bosses or elites very fast once they drop down to 30% health. So yeah, it's optional. If you want to use Wipeout, go for it. If you want to use Brain Freeze, go for it. I'm using Brain Freeze for now. I might change to Wipeout later. I'm gonna give it a try, but so far so good. Now we have Adrenalizing Antenna. It's very important. Activating decay skills increase anomaly power for you and your allies by 30% for 10 seconds. And as you can see, Blighted Turrets counts as a decay ability, and it's on a 6-second cooldown. The buff lasts for 10 seconds and has no cooldown. So every time you throw your turret, it refreshes, so you can have 100% uptime on this. Very good. Free 30% extra anomaly for you and your friends. We're also using Team Player, just because it's on the way, and why the hell not? It decreases elite's damage on you and your allies by 10%. It's going to keep you alive for a little longer. And Tech Bond. Activating Ordnance skills increases anomaly power by 50% for 10 seconds. We're not going to get this very often from Tools of Destruction, because as I said, that shit's never going to go down if you're playing right. It's gonna come down to Pain Launcher. It's on a 26-second cooldown. It can get lower because I don't have the optimal stats right now, but it's still gonna be a long cooldown, so you really should save that for bosses, you know, things you need to burn down real quick. So let's take a look at the mods and the weapons and the armor. Start with the weapons. I'm using these two simply because, yes, it doesn't matter what you use here. My primary, I'm using Scrap Grenade with Fortress, so when my minigun happens to go down, I can still do decent damage with my other abilities, like Pain Launcher and the grenade, the turrets, with that 40% damage bonus based on your armor. I don't know if this works when the minigun is out. I don't think it does, but if it does, correct me in the comments down below, please. If it doesn't, this is even better. Because of the mods and the stuff we have, is going to double our armor, so it's going to be a huge buff. And Scrap Grenade, for the same reason. When the minigun goes down, we have the source of damage. Now we're using the 3 pieces Grim Inventors, mainly because they look good as fuck, and because all of them have anomaly power, and cooldown reduction, and skills life leech. Very good stats on these. What this the set bonus is, while Tool of Destruction is active, a confirmed hit with Pain Launcher refills 20% of the ammunition for both minigun and the RPG. This only happens once for each Tool of Destruction usage. This is not going to be very important. I mean, it's a good... oh fuck, oh shit, my ammo's running out panic button. I mean, if you're fighting a boss and you can't easily affect someone with toxin and kill them to refuel your ammo, you can just hit your pain launcher and you get 20% back, which is a lot for the amount of ammo that you have. It's a cool little thing to have, but mainly for the stats and the looks because I like it. And yeah, mainly the stats we're gonna mainly focus on our anomaly power and cooldown reduction as per usual for anomaly power builds. As you can see, my cooldown reduction on my armor is not fully maxed because I ran out of shards. I need to get more, so that's why my cooldown on these aren't as low as they can be. But let's take a look at the mods. We have Radical Therapy that deal 15% more damage against enemies afflicted by Toxic. Self-explanatory. Upgraded gun for Tools of Destruction. Active minigun grants 30% resistance piercing bonus, so just with the node in this you already have 45% resistance piercing. Very good. On the chest I have Euthanizer and Fortify. Euthanizer is a legendary tier mod. You really want to have this. It's just gonna boost your damage against those enemies big time by 40%, just stacking Radical Therapy and Euthanizer. Deal 25% more damage against enemies affected by Toxic. Again, self-explanatory, and I just explained it anyway. Fortify, active minigun grants 187,000 armor bonus. So you just mix that with this, you have over 200,000 armor bonus. Now, you look at Fortress. Yeah, see? Makes sense. Huge bonus damage. On the legs, we have Special Delivery and Bang for Your Buck. Special Delivery is going to increase your rocket explosion radius by 30%. This is a 100% totally useless mod. You don't need it, you don't want it, it's not going to make any difference for a build, but it just happens to be there on the legs, and the legs are better than the hands and the boots on the set, so just use it. I don't remember what mod comes with it, but I remember that it's not good as well, it's pretty bad, so I put Bang for Your Buck there. Now, Bang for Your Buck is good. Activating the skill grants 100% base ammo increase for the selected tool. That's how we're going to get over 300 bullets on our minigun. Just insane. Special Delivery, useless. Bang for your gut. Bang for your buck, not for your gut. Very useful. Use that. On our hands, I don't have cooldown reduction. There's one thing we can improve in this build is getting cooldown reduction on the hands. I didn't have a lot of luck with this. I'm farming for better hands. So if you have anomaly power and cooldown reduction, go for it. But this just happened to have Massacre. That's the most important mod that we need in this thing. The most important mod. Massacre. Tool of Destruction. Each enemy killed with a minigun gives 38,000 anomaly power bonus for 10 seconds, stacks up to 6 times. And those 10 seconds refresh every time you get a kill. So as long as you're killing things, your anomaly power is just gonna skyrocket. It's how our minigun's gonna deal so much damage. We also have Captain Hunter there, increase our damage against elites by 25%. Always a very good mod to have in every build. It's self-explanatory. And our boots, we have, again, Anomaly Power, cooldown reduction, armor reduction, and Toxic Lead. On a armor reduction, Blighted Turret. The turret reduces the armor of each enemy it hits by 30%. Effect lasts for 5 seconds. The effect refreshes every time you hit them. So our turret's going to be debuffing, it's going to be buffing, it's going to be damaging, it's going to be healing us, and even more reducing the enemy's armor. Very good mod to have. And Toxic Lead is how you're going to be getting your ammo on your minigun back all the time. It's just like the bullet build. Killing shots on the enemies affected with Toxic replenish 40% of your ammo in your magazine. That also works for the machine gun, the minigun. Very important mod to have. So you just throw your blighted rounds, not blighted rounds, your blighted turret. It's gonna affect enemies with toxin. It's gonna debuff them. It's gonna buff you. It's gonna heal you. It's gonna damage them. And every time you kill someone that was hit by the turret, you're gonna get 40% of your ammo back. And just look how much ammo we have on this thing. 320 starting bullets. It is satisfyingly in fucking insane. I mean, who doesn't like shooting miniguns? Come on, they're just so much fun, and you look badass with this gear. Just, And then you have a missile launcher. I call this build the Mad Gunner. And now, as per usual, a little gameplay in the end so you see what I'm talking about. But before we cut to the gameplay, I need to warn you about this. And this is sad, but unfortunately, it's where Anomaly Power builds stand. Some of them are quite busted. See Pyromancer for that. But Technomancer kind of falls behind on the Anomaly Power. This build, you are never going to die. If you are shooting, if you have a turret out dealing damage, you are absolutely guaranteed to never die. You don't even have the golem skill, the mod, the emergency stance. I mean that's been fixed, and you need to learn how to not rely on that anymore. So this build is gonna help you a lot if you're dying, and it's not gonna fall flat on its face without damage. It's gonna hurt, and it's absolutely never gonna die. But it will struggle. It will struggle against mostly humanoid enemies. If you're going against animals, you're fine. That's because the minigun doesn't hit crits. It doesn't hit crits. Even if you're shooting the head, it's not going to hit crits. And most animal enemies don't have crit spots or have weird crit spots that you can't shoot anyway. So you're not going to lose a lot against that. And since they're going to be running towards you and into you, they're going to get completely mowed down by the machine gun. That's going to be different for humanoid enemies. They're going to run, they're going to hide, and when you're walking with the minigun, you're super fucking slow, so that's not very good. I recommend using this against nature enemies only, or if you're in a team helping you and helping them against humanoid enemies. And you're not going to be golding those CT15s very often. You're going to have to learn how to play this build, you're going to have to learn the expedition, and you're going to have to learn how to play them together in order to get gold. You're going to get gold just fine and without ever dying against nature enemies, but humanoid enemies, go CT14 if you're playing this build. You're guaranteed to get gold in CT14. I mean, you can just level up from 49 to 50. It's not a huge downside, but yeah, I just needed to warn you about that before you just go crazy and then you can't gold and you come to the comments talking shit to me. Don't blame me, blame People Can Fly. They're the ones being stingy with anomaly power. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the build, and see you next time. Bye bye. Oh, and gameplay now.
Outrider, there's a storm coming your way.
There's a well here, spewing anomaly energy. It's creating the storm. That's what's causing the vibration.
At least I know I haven't completely lost my mind. Now get out of there.